So today we're going to do selections in Photoshop. So let's go to File and Open, and let's open O3 Start. Here we have a platter and a bunch of shells. So we're going to start by selecting this sand dollar. And we'll zoom in on the sand dollar like this. And then come to our quick selection tool. And this is one of the newest tools, and it is a lovely tool. What you want to notice is that in the option bar up here, it's changed. And you can start here, but it is going to move here. And we're going to make our brush at 30. And we're going to auto enhance. And all we're going to do is click toward the edge like that. And you see, and I clicked again, and it selected the whole sand dollar. Now I'll do a Control 0, and that would be the same as a Command 0 on the Mac. And come up here to my Move tool, and I am going to move this down here. Okay, and deselect. Next we're going to select this platter. And that can be a little tricky because we need an ellipse here. And remember the first day we used guides, so make sure your rulers are showing. If they're not showing, go to View and Rulers. And go into the middle of your ruler, not the edge or on the bottom or on top. And pull a guide down to the top of the paper plate here. Maybe it's not paper. And 1, 2 from the left to the edge of the paper here. Okay, now we'll go to the Marquee Elliptical tool, and we're going to start at the intersection of those two guides and hold down our mouse and just draw an ellipse over this plate like this. And there we have it. And then come to the Move tool, and we'll put this right here and deselect. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is Sally's seashells. So we'll zoom in here on this little label. And we're going to make a centered circular marquee selection. So we'll hold down our Alt key first and our Shift key next, and just zoom out until we have the circle. Now I'm off just a little bit here, so I'm going to use my arrow key to bring that up to the top, and I'm going to use my arrow key on my keyboard to bring that to the right. Now that is just perfect. And I'll do a Control 0, Command 0 on your Mac, and I'm going to move this over here. Okay, now that I have this selected, I'm going to invert it. And by inverting it, I'm going to change the colors to the other colors that are on the other colors of the other side of the color wheel. So I'll go to Image and Adjustments and Invert. And there we have it. So we're in the middle now. Be careful so you don't touch this center rotation point. And I'm going to hold down my Alt key. And you notice when I hold down my Alt key, I get two arrows. After I get my two arrows, I'm going to click on my mouse and drag. And you see I get another copy that way. Now I'm going to take my other copy and make it larger. And I'll do that by going to Edit and Transform and Scale. Then I'll come to my corner here and hold down my Shift key so I don't make it into an oval, and I keep it a circle, and I'll make it about a third larger. Okay, and I'll hit my Commit button for the transfer form. That's an important step. Now I'll do this again. I'll hold down my Alt key. When I get the double arrow, I'll hold down my Shift key and drag to the lower right and go to my Edit and Transform and Scale. And I'll come to the corner here, hold down my Shift key and make it about a third larger and click on the Commit button. Alright, so I have my three labels now. Now I'm going to take this shell, and this would be hard to select in a different way, but we're going to go to the rectangle tool and draw a rectangular selection around it. And then we'll go to the Magic Wand tool. Let me zoom in on this. Go to the Magic Wand tool. And the Magic Wand tool selects by color. And we're going to go to up here in the option bar. We're going to go to the Subtract from Selection. And we're going to set this at 33 tolerance, anti-alias, contiguous. That means that it goes in one line. And I'm just going to click on the white here. And you see it took away all the white. So all we have is this selection. We will do a Control-0, Command-0 on your Mac. And here we have our selection, and I'm going to place this right here. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to select is this. And I know in the book it says to use the lasso tool. Let's see, the lasso selection tool. But I have to tell you, I find it very cumbersome. And it really doesn't work very well on this. Usually what I use the lasso tool is if I want to make a rough selection of an area. And then I will use it. But we're not going to do that today. So we're going to select and deselect and zoom in on here. And I do believe we can use exactly the same method we just used for the last shell. So what I'm going to do is go to the rectangular tool and make a selection here. And then go to the Magic Wand tool and minus. And you see how fast and easy that was to select. So I'll Control-0 to get that up. Go to the Move tool. There we go. We're going to move it here, but I'd like to rotate it. And I will just come here to the corner and rotate it up like that and hit the Commit button. Very nice. Now, the last one that we're going to do is the Nautilus. And let's go to the zoom tool. Oops. Do I have my SCSI zoom on? No, I don't. I was holding down. I'll do Control 0. I want to marquee this. I guess I was holding down my mouse. All right, so let's go to the magnetic lasso tool. And this is a very nice tool. And if you look, the pointer or the arrow is the part that is active. So if you click like that, and it will try and find the edge. Ooh, I didn't like that. So you do a Control C. Oh, let's see. Oh, I don't like the way that happens. So we'll just triple click it and do a deselect. All right, now let's do that again. What you have to do is kind of click where you'd like it to be, and it will find the edges. And this is quite nice for something like this that has a curve to it. I'm going to put my little hand right now and drag this up. And you see it just follows the edge and puts down anchor points on its own. If you don't like the anchor point it put down, just do a Control Z. And if you want an anchor point in a certain place, just press your mouse. Very good. Uh-oh, I didn't like how it was going there. Keep it close to the edge. There. Hold on to your wrist if you're not very steady. There it goes. Oh, I didn't like that. Put down. You'll get the hang of it after a while. There's a little skill involved in this. And when you reach your first anchor point, there should be a 0 or a little circle next to the magnetic lasso tool, and just click. And there's our beautiful selection of the Nautilus, and I'll do a Control 0 and come up to the Move tool, and I'm going to move this away. All right, and I will deselect. All right, so now what we want to do is crop this. So I'll come to the crop tool here and just go like this and like this. And there we have that. All right, and we'll commit. But do you notice I have something here that I don't want? So you can go to your eraser tool and just erase that away. Oops, opacity is at 90%. We want it at 100. And we want the flow to be 100. Did you see it wasn't quite black? Not all the stuff came off. All right. So we have finished that. And what I'd like you to do is read page 87 in your book so that you can find out how to soften the edges of a selection. And that's it. Our next one will be about layers. Goodbye now. Put your name on this, print it out, or put it in the Dropbox. Bye-bye.